We at video 6. We at video 6. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing. I know I got the same outfit on, but that's because I done recorded all these videos in the same day. I've been out of this like for 2 hours, but it has been such a blessing. And I know these videos, the audio, y'all please bear with me because the wind been picking up. I'm gonna try to edit out as much of the wind as I can. I try not to speak while the wind is blowing because you can't really hear me. But the title of this video, video 6, I said it should be 6 or 7 videos within this series. But time to go. I might add on a 7th one just to give you guys a present day, where I am now, what I'm doing now, how God is using me right now. I didn't mention, because I was still in my wilderness during that time. Let me just back up a little bit just to tell you guys some additional details before I get to the main topic of this video, which is called Time to Go. God gave me everything I needed for the company that I have right now, Indivation. He gave me everything that I needed in my wilderness season for Indivation. And I'll put up some of the pictures and everything and, show you guys. It was like upon exiting my wilderness, I got my LLC for Indivation, and that's one of those key things that I really should have talked about, because Indivation is my purpose. Indivation is what's going to solidify the will of God in my life. Like, it's already solidified. I don't want to say solidify it, but that's my true purpose. Oh, that's a B. My true purpose and my true calling is Indivation. And it's going to be a whole new industry. And people are going to, to want to kill me and all of that. But I'm fully prepared and equipped for the things that are coming, and He's constantly preparing me and equipping me for those things. And so I'm completely grateful for that He even saw fit for me to have such a mantle as this, because when you look at it right now, it seems small. It seems like, oh, what is that? Anyway, I know some people done probably turn their nose up at it, like, here she go again with another business, here she go again with something else. No. I know people have looked at it and they turn their nose up at it. But God He's like the master at hiding something until He's ready to debut it. And even though it's out there now and I'm actively doing work to sustain whatever it is doing right now, God is such a master. He's going to boost this like I don't know what, and He's gonna surprise me with it, because if I just continue to be obedient and do the work that He needs me to do concerning Indivation, oh yeah, it's 2 yellow butterflies. That was so cute. Lord, what you trying to tell me? Anyways, been seeing a lot of 2s, y'all, but that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother video. God, He's really been preparing me for 2. But yeah, Indivation, He solidified that during my wilderness season. It's really been training me up, putting me around a lot of great people. That's present day though. We're still talking about video 6, which is Time to Go. So upon exiting my wilderness season, a lot of spiritual warfare happened. Like I said, the ants, that was just part of it, okay? The ants was just part of it. If you don't know what the ants are, if you didn't watch this in order, then that doesn't make sense. If you go back to my last video, video 5, then I explained the whole situation, witchcraft, revelations, all of that stuff. Go watch it. But apartment, God, He just told me it's time to go, and He told me that I was not renewing my lease for that place, because I was comfortable there. Year 2, I had never been anywhere more than a year, like an apartment complex, like. So I was like, okay, Lord, this is where you want me for a while. Apparently He said, no, baby, 2 years is enough. You're not going to renew this lease. And I'm like, okay, where I'm gonna go? And he's like, I got you, don't worry about it. I went through so much looking for an apartment, finding something, was racially discriminated against by this one lady. Like, I was literally, because it's so easy to forget the lessons that you learned in your wilderness when he starts to test you. And so this was a test. He's like, I'm going to see if she's really going to trust me as her provider. That was one of the main lessons for these 2 years. If she don't get it now, then I guess she ain't gonna get it. But no, I understood it. But yeah, I was literally like trying to rent out rooms in people's places because again, God is providing. Technically, I still don't have that much money. So I'm like, Lord, income, these apartments want 3 times the rent. I'm not even making 2 times the rent for real. Like, where am I gonna go? He's like, just trust me, keep looking, keep looking. So I'm looking, renting out rooms, like I said, racially discriminated against by this one lady. She thought I was Indian or something. She was like, you can't be cooking, those strong smelling foods in my kitchen and stuff like that. I was like, girl, I don't even want to see the room no more because you're doing too much. Like, and I hope nobody ever rents from your room because you're racist. Anyways. And it's funny because, girl, you think I'm Indian or from Pakistan or something, and I'm black. Like, anyway, no better if you're racist. Like, if she's racist, it's no better. But anyways, yeah, was going through all of that, and I'm like, Lord, you keep putting different stuff on me. Shopping for a new apartment, the rent is good here. Like, I've gotten used to my community that I'm in. Like, I'm not ready to go. He's like, no, I need you to go. I need you to go. And now the move makes sense because where I am now, it's like everything just makes sense now. So, testimony for the apartment. I remember I applied to this apartment, called them. They didn't answer the first time, called them again. They answered. I set up a tour to go see it. And I called the day of just to make sure we were still, or the day before, excuse me, just to make sure we were still on for the tour. Because, you just got to follow up with people these days because you just never really know. You just never know. Like, people don't like to do their jobs anymore. People are incompetent. You just really have to stay on top of stuff. And so I called. She was like, oh, we scheduled for this day, and it was a mix-up on their end. So I was like, oh, I'm glad I called because I'm supposed to be coming in. She was like, don't worry about it. Still come in. We're going to be good. We're going to be here. Okay, cool. So I went to do that. Unfortunately, the apartment wasn't ready because somebody was moving out of that apartment. So they were like, we can't show you the apartment. And so I'm like, but at this point, I'm like, Lord, this is like it. I've been looking for months. I was looking as soon as you told me that I needed to renew my lease. Nothing has worked. This has to work. And so, fill out the application and everything. And I have my deposit and everything. Just doing all of this in faith. Because again, I haven't seen the apartment. I don't know anything. And so I go, give her the application and give her everything. And she was like, well, we can just go ahead and handle this right now, do your background, or do your check and all of that stuff. Whatever apartment's got to do, the background check and all of that stuff. And so I'm sitting there and I'm just like waiting. And then so she gets a phone call. And mind you, the wait list for this place was long. Like, some people, the wait list was like a year or so, or 2 years. I can't remember what she said. And so I'm sitting here like, well, Jesus, like, I know my credit is good. I know all of this stuff. Like, I know on my end I'm good. I've never been evicted. I've never been late on payments or anything. So I'm like, I'm good. But I just still, if it's a wait list, there are other people that are probably good too that are waiting, right? So I'm just like, I ain't gonna worry about it. But I'm still nervous. And so I'm waiting. And she gets a phone call. And then she's typing in something. And then there's like a ding on her computer. You don't know if it's a good ding or a bad ding, because I don't know the intricacies of apartments. So she's on the phone, but she looks at me and she's like, you're good. And I'm like, what? And she's just giving me a thumbs up. She's like, you're good. And then I guess she says whatever on the phone and she gets off and she was like, you're good. The apartment is yours. And I'm looking like, for real? Like, I was like, ain't no way. And she's like, yeah. She was like, everything is good. Like, I just did all of your information just now. You're good. And she was like, it was like, what, August 7th I was supposed to move in. She was like, the apartment that we have available is available to move in August 7th. And my lease was over July 31st. And so I had to work out the logistics of all of that eventually. Like, I went back home to Oklahoma and stayed for about a week and all of that stuff. But that you're good, God, it's one of those, God is just looking down at you like giving you a thumbs up, like, why were you even worried? Like, I know I had you. Like, God don't care about the wait list. God don't care who's in front of you. If you're favored by God, he's going to move you all the way to the front of the list. Because, and I'll tell y'all about that later, about everything else that transpired. But with that moment, she was just like, yeah, you're good. So she just needed like one more thing from me or something. And then she was just like, yeah, August 7th, just be ready for moving and all of this stuff. And I'm sitting there like, bro, I got an apartment solidified already, man. That was just a blessing. Such a blessing, such a blessing, such a blessing. Like, y'all have no idea during that time. 2-bedroom, too bad. Let me just say that. I said, I might as well get a house now. Like, Lord, when am I gonna get a house? If you're approving me for a 2-bed, too bad, you might as well approve me for a home, which I know that's coming. That's coming. Anyways, right. So that happened. I went to Oklahoma. Move-in day, obviously, I didn't move in until the 9th because the devil was fighting those 2 days I was supposed to move in. The devil was just fighting me. Just fighting me. Because he did not want me to leave my wilderness season. I'm not going to go into all the details. He was using my dad, low-key. Like, love you, Dad. I know you're going to see this video, but in certain ways, he was utilizing my dad, and I had to identify those ways. And I'm just like, you know what, really should identify the enemy and know that God moved you here for a reason. You heard God correctly. Move forward the way you know you need to. So with that, finally 2 days later, I moved in completely to my new apartment. Everything was not the way that I expected it to be, let me just say that. But it was where God needed me to be. He still needs me to be right now, because then it just opened up different things for just my job that I'm at now, and just different windows of opportunity that he needed me to be closer to. Let me just say that. During that move, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. He told me to sell all of my possessions. So he told me that I was moving, and he told me to sell my possessions. So I had to sell my couch. I had to sell a whole bunch of like big items that I just could not take with me. And pretty much he's just like, sell your stuff and trust me. But it says that in the Bible. Like, I can't identify it right now because it's windy. The sun is in my eyes. I'm trying to finish this video. But if I find it, I'll put the verse up here. It was about the story about the rich man, and God, well, Jesus is telling him to, well, leave all of your stuff behind and come and follow me. You know, and we can apply that to our lives today. Leave everything behind and follow God. Sell your possessions. Sell your clothes. I had to get rid of a lot of clothes. God still be telling me to purge clothes. He be looking at me like, why you still got that? And I'll be like, you're right. And then I just donate it. Because why do I still have it? But when I tell you, stuff don't make sense when you're in it, you will always see why God had you do something in hindsight. He will show you later, you didn't need that because I was going to give you this. You couldn't live here anymore because this job opportunity was right here, and I need you to be in this area. I need you to be in this location to help do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or whatever. God, I mean, the transition was rough. Moving out of the wilderness, you know? Satan wants you to be in bondage. He wants you to be wandering for 40 years. He doesn't want you to get it. Some people be in that wilderness for years. I'm glad it only took me 2. Seriously, I'm glad it only took me 2. Some people spend their entire life in the wilderness and they cannot identify it. And they just sit there and they're wondering, Lord, when are you going to increase? Lord, when are you going to do this in my life, Lord? And he's like, I've been waiting 20 years for you to submit to me. 20 years ago, if you submitted, you would have been in the increase that I have for you. But we don't understand. We just don't be understanding. We don't want to submit. We don't really want to go through the process. And so I'm feeling in my spirit I might have to make a video 7, but not in this area, not outside anymore, because yeah, I'm really ready to go walk around, listen to some music and worship for a little bit. But y'all, the wilderness is your processing. God is molding you. He's making you. He's making sure that you are in alignment with him so that he can usher you into everything he has for you. He cannot just give it to you. He cannot just give it to you with that addiction that you're hiding. He cannot just give you the increase if you don't know how to budget money. Why would he give you $1 million and you can't budget 100? Like what? He needs to teach you how to be an effective leader. Why would he have you lead 500 people if you don't know how to lead your household? I'm telling you, God is so intentional with the process that he has for every single one of us. We just have to submit. We just have to really submit and get right and live in alignment with him. And with that comes a lot of sacrifice. With obedience comes sacrifice. Obedience is greater than sacrifice, though. I've heard that so many times. But with that comes so much sacrifice. And the question is, are you willing to sacrifice for God? Because Jesus, I mean, he's the ultimate sacrifice. So we shouldn't fix our mouths to say anything. We shouldn't fix our mouths to say not a thing about whether or not we want to sacrifice a Saturday because he wants us to really be in the secret place to do Bible study. Y'all, we really be having it messed up a lot of the times. And we really need to get right, because God is showing us that there is a great separation, and it's either you're in or you're out. I got on black and white for a reason. Because there's no gray. Either you are on God's side or you are not on God's side. And you really need to figure that out. And the sooner you figure it out, the better. Yeah. That's really all I got. If you guys have questions about any details, because I know I probably left a lot of stuff out, because I mean 2 years of the wilderness, that's still a lot. Like I said, some people have been in the wilderness for a long time, but the lessons that I've learned in the 2 years have been great. They've been tremendous. And I don't want y'all to get it twisted. Once you cross over into your promised land, there's still a fight. It's not just, yeah, they say the land of milk and honey, but Satan still don't want you to be there, which means that he's going to do everything in his power to make it uncomfortable for you, to make you think that you heard God incorrectly. He's going to do everything in his power to make sure that you stay in bondage. And we don't want that. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, comment them, or if you want to DM me, my name is RelliKay on everything. If you want to send me a DM about questions, maybe you're going through your wilderness season and you just don't understand a lot of stuff, I will try my best to answer them for you. Or if you just need encouragement, I'm here for that too. And so thank you, Jesus. This is the last video. Oh, I keep saying it's the last video, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a present day where we at now video, but that's all I got for y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to this series. And Lord, forgive me for not being obedient when I should have put this out months ago, because I'm pretty sure someone needed it, but y'all still need it. Whoever it is that still needs it, God bless you. I hope this blesses you, and I hope this sets you free. And I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video.